YouTube, welcome back to Baggers and Bourbon. Of course, I'm your boy Cam, and today we're going to be talking about motors, right? So as you have seen the other videos, I have upgraded my engine that I'm currently running in, the Black UFO, the unknowingly fast object, right? So I'm only here to tell you what I think may be best. Mind you, I'm not a Harley tech and I don't know everything about motors, but I'm going to give you what I know could give you some oomph, right? A lot of people, they will come to YouTube and tell you, well, go see an engine guy, go see this, go see that, right? Go to a guy that can build your engine. All right, but it's still important that you know what goes inside of an engine, right? What you should put, what may work, what will not work, right? You have to understand that, right? Because I can sit here and take my bike to a guy and he can tell me, I can get you 200 horsepower, but bring me $8,000. But do it really cost $8,000? No. So this is what we're gonna do, right? Let's say you got a 107 or a 114, correct? So with that 107, you can take that to a 124, or with a 120 or a 114, you can take that to a 128, right? I would say a 128 is the best of both worlds, right? Because you're right in between, right? You're right on the cusp of what they call that big bore kit, right? They're right on the cusp of that big bore kit. Now, what I will tell you is, let's say you take let's say you got a 114. Let's say you want to add some oomph to it, right? I see a lot of guys, you know, they go and get their bike done down at Harley, right? And they go put a bunch of Screaming Eagle components on it, and then they post their numbers. And the numbers are okay, but they're okay for if that's what you want, right? And if you're just doing some cruising in. But the type of money that a lot of guys are spending on some of these engine upgrades, I wouldn't do it, right? Let's just say that. But that's beyond the point. You have to know what to put in your engine. And by the way, we drinking on some of that Special Reserves Wellers that one of my subscribers sent me. So, hey, if you guys out there and y'all watching this thing and y'all in a different state, hey, look, if y'all come across some Willet, please let me know. Hey, I can send you the money, send you the information for you to ship it to me. Hey, look, let your boy know, man. I'm really trying to get my hands on some of that good drink. But, hey, just let me know. And I'm smoking on a 5-acre classic, you know, and I'm sitting here and I'm drinking some of this Weller Special Reserve. Shout out to the Dogs MC. They looked out for your boy. But to jump back into it is, let's say you take your 114 and you bring it all the way up to a 128, right? Compression matters. Please understand your compression matters when you are building these motors. You cannot get an engine kit with a lower compression and expect to get peak or max performance, right? You have to understand that. Understand compression, right? Understand the type of cams that you can put in your bike and get the performance. Understand the different brands of heads that you can get also matters. Everybody out here is selling heads, right? Everybody is selling heads, right? But I will tell you this. Every head is not the same. Now, you want some shit that go, you need to understand the flow. Look at the amount of flow that those heads are pushing out, right? So, you can run and go and buy you some heads, right? Let's say you go over here to Joe Schmo and buy some heads, and I go over here to my guy and get my heads, right? But let's say Joe Schmo, his head's only flowing 240 and 300, right? Two on the intake, two something on the intake, and whatever on the exhaust, right? But I go over here to my guy and I grab my heads, and these motherfuckers are flowing without a shadow of doubt, I'm going to outperform regardless, right? Let's say I'm running a higher compression. I'm going to outperform. He's running a 10 of something compression. I'm running 11.5 compression, right? I'm going to outperform as long as I know the combination and the setup that I can put in these bikes, right? As long as I know the exhaust to put on these bikes. All of this plays a factor into what you're putting in your bike, right? So let's say we jump online. You can get you a kit from T-Man. You can get you a kit from Revolution. You can get you a kit from Fuel Moto. You can get you a kit from Ward's. You can get you a kit from a lot of these different guys that build kits, right? Now, your cam selection is going to matter, right? Your cam selection. You can jump out there and you can go and get a cam from Woods, you can get a cam from Star, you can get a cam from Cyclorama, right? But I'll tell you, right now, Star and Cyclorama are cooking with gas. I mean, pure performance, they're cooking with gas. But mind you, Woods have some great cams. That 408X is a pretty good cam. All of Star cams are great. And all of Cyclorama cams are great, right? Please do not make this mistake. You jump out here and you get a big bore kit and then you put a small cam in it. You're not going to get max performance out of it. You're not, right? Please make sure that you spend money on whatever you do, right? If you're going to go inside your engine and this is your baby, this is your bike, and you're going to ride it and you want that performance, you're going to have to spend a little bit more, right? But if you're just a regular everyday rider, you don't want that much, excuse me, cool. Fine, go ahead and be a little cautious. But if this is something that you want max performance and you out here running and you're competing with other guys, spend that money, right? So let's say you take a 128 kit, right? We can take a 128 kit. We can put a Rocket 544 in it. We can put a Star 3/4 in it. We can put a Cyclorama 512 in it. We could put a Ward's cam in it. So let's say you choose one of those cams, right? Let's say you choose a Chris Rivas 544. Let's say you choose a Cyclorama 512. Let's say you choose a Star 3/4, right? Just gave you 3. You drop that into your bike. Please understand that you are going to have to upgrade your valve springs, right? So you go and get some 640 SK Star valve springs. You're going to spend some money on that, right? You're going to spend some money on those, but please understand you will need that, right? Just based upon the lift that you're putting on your bike, right? So then let's say you got your 128 kit, you got your cam, you're going to want to run some bigger fuel injectors, okay? Your fuel injectors, your bike comes stock, I think, with like some 4.5s or 4.4s, right? You can go up to 5.3s, but I would increase bigger than those 5.3s. I would go up to at least 6.3s or 7.1s, right? You're running a high compression, so you're at like 11.1, 11.5. That's fine. Then you're going to want to upgrade your throttle body and manifold, okay? A lot of guys will tell you go to 62, but that's a 62 without any head work. Once you jump into that threshold and you start to get head work, you're going to want to jump up to a 70. You're going to want to get a 70 once you get head work, right? So let's say you jump out there, you go get some Wards. Them motherfuckers are flowing, right? You can go get some Wards +1s on your heads. And you can go get you a 70 millimeter. You can use V-Twin Power Sports. You can use HPI. It doesn't really matter. Get you a 70 millimeter throttle body and manifold, right? Go up that way. Please make sure you have a great breather on your bike. You can use a T-Man breather. He makes awesome, no air loss breathers. Trash Performance make great breathers. So either one, you go with those, right? So listen to me, because I'm giving you some shit, giving you some free game, and I'm cooking with gas with this one. So you do that, right? You got your cams, you got your engine, you got your manifold and throttle body. You got your fuel injectors, either 6.2s, what did I just say? 5.5s or 6.3s, or you can go 7.1s, right? You got your fuel injectors. If you're going to do some head work based on price point and looking at the flow numbers that's outperforming a lot of these places that's making heads, that are doing heads, please look at your flow numbers, look at your numbers, right? Because I can come and tell you, oh, I'm charging you $3,500, $4,000 for some heads, but they ain't flowing shit. They're not producing, all right? So spend your money where who's known and they're giving you a great product, right? So let's say you go up to Wards, right? Their heads, their fucking +1s are flowing. I wouldn't even tell you put +2s on a 128 kit. I mean, really, you would put, I mean, because just base is just so much it'll choke out your engine, right? I would literally go to +1s because them bitches are flowing. And with their fucking heads, they come with a $600-$700 set of fucking titanium springs and keepers and valves in it. So your money's worth is there. So you're looking at the big picture, right? But you got to think, they giving you literally just off springs and everything alone. That's $700 right there, right? So you go in and let's say the heads cost $1,800. So minus $700 out of that. You catching what I'm saying? So $1,100 just for the heads plus $700 for the valves and springs and everything. It's worth it. It's worth the fucking money. You do that. Please upgrade your clutch. Either you do a pressure plate, heavier, a heavy duty clutch springs, and you can also upgrade your clutch plates, right? Or you can use an AIM pressure plate. All depends your preference, right? But please make sure you upgrade that. Please make sure that you upgrade your compensator ramp. So you can either go with Baker's, you can go with Star, Cyclorama, and a couple other guys make compensator ramps, right? But you want to make sure that you upgrade your drivetrain, right? Your whole drivetrain, right? In your bike. So you're doing that. Now, it's either you're going to do it yourself or you're going to find you a builder. It's one of the two. You can save money doing it yourself if you're mechanically inclined, right? But please ensure that you have to have the right tools, right? Please make sure that you're torquing your shit down to the right specs. All of that matters, right? When you're doing an engine. All of that matters. You replace all your gaskets and seals when you break that down. Please make sure that you head bolts. You get new head bolts because you can't reuse the factory ones. So get you some ARP upgraded head bolts and they're reusable. I got the S&S ones on mine and they're also reusable. Upgrade your oil pump and oil plate. What is it? I'm running an S&S on mine, but Fueling makes a great race series one too. They make a great one, and I'll tell you what. Exhaust. Please make sure that you pick out the right exhaust for your bike. If you're going to do this, don't go with no 1 7/8 bullshit. It's only very few exhausts out here that have a 2-inch step. It ain't that many. I think HPI, D&D, I think Bassani Big Bore has one. Burns, Jackpots, RTX. Of course, you guys see what I went with. I went with the Jackpots the RTX, right? And that's because of the price point, great price point for a great product. You're talking about $1,400 for all black, and it comes with the fucking heat shields, right? It comes with 2 different O2 sensor port sizes. It comes with 2 different sizes, right? So you're going to want that, and then you're going to want to figure out, right, which exhaust you want, right? But don't go out here and be like a guy say, oh, run this and run that. Be mindful. Everybody want an HPI, but you're waiting 14, 16 weeks, right, out. With some of those pipes that I named you, they are currently in stock. Now, if you want a Jackpots RTX, them things kind of sell out pretty quickly. They do. They sell out pretty quickly. But luckily, I called Fuel Moto, talked to my boy Jim on the phone. Jim always looking out for me. And he got that pipe for me. And it's a great performance pipe, especially it's real narrow at the end too. Inside of the back, it's very narrow. And it sounds aggressive. It gives it that aggressive tone, right? And that's what you're looking for, right? With building these motors. Know your own combination and what you're trying to get. Please know what these motor builders are doing to your bike. Don't let them just do anything to your bike and you don't know what the fuck they're doing to it. That's where a lot of guys go wrong. A lot of guys be like, oh, the bike is pulling, I'm getting torque and I'm getting this. You're not getting all that you can get out of your bike. You're not. And I say that, right? I say that wholeheartedly. You're not getting everything that you should out of your bike. But if you're comfortable with what your dyno numbers say, if you're comfortable, excuse the noise or whatever, but if you're comfortable with what they gave you, then be comfortable with it. I'm also going to tell you this. With the free game that I gave you, you should be close to 170. But be mindful, like I was stating, we have bikes that's running close to 160 without no head work, with no head work, just a regular build, right? And mind you, we're not no master builders or gurus, right? Self-taught, right? So, mind you, they ain't been doing this long, but we self-taught. So what do you think this shit is gonna be like once I really get into this, right? But all day long, I be on this laptop here, researching, figuring shit out, tinkering with my own bike, getting the bitch dyno, and understanding what it should do and how your bike reacts, right? This is what I do, right? All of these guys telling you, oh, they're running these numbers, but they got a happy dyno. If you're running a new upgrade and you're running the new DynoJet Power Vision fucking tuners, you can't do that no more, right? So the guys would do that before they upgraded their dyno. The motherfuckers was changing the drum weights, right? Yeah, you could change your fucking drum weights and say that the bike is running this and it's not. Get your numbers in SAE. Make sure that your dyno numbers are in SAE, right? You want to make sure all of those things. Just don't sit here because everybody take their bike over here and say, oh, fuck with me. I do this, I do that. You can, but I will also give you this game right here. You can say fuck it and don't do a bit bore kit, right? And you can literally buy a Trask turbo kit and put it on a motherfucking 114 and pull a 170. A 170 without even having to put all of that money in there, in your bike. Listen to what I'm saying. So you can spend $5,600, $6,000 one time and put it on a 114, and I guarantee you. But a lot of guys ain't gonna tell you this because they're gonna want you to buy this shit. They're gonna want you to buy this shit, but yeah, you're gonna have to upgrade your cam and shit. Of course, you're gonna have to do that, but it's minor, right? Instead of every time something new come out or you run up against another guy or you're doing this or you're doing that, you want to upgrade your shit. Mind you, these bikes are tricky. They are tricky. But be mindful. You have to understand how engines work. Engines are simple. Just study yourself. Buy your own tools. Buy you a fucking lift. And start tinkering with it yourself. Once you pull the tank off, unplug your fucking thing, man, literally, I could probably snatch my whole engine out, split the fucking case, put the crank back in, build that bitch back up in almost a day. Done. In and out. In and out. And just know the torque specs. It's going to come second nature, right? But if it's your first time doing it, I have a video up, and it's going to walk you through step by step on how to do it. Take your fucking time. Do it. You can call me. You can FaceTime me. I can walk you through this shit because it's really simple. You just got to know what type. A lot of the sockets that you're going to be using are 12-point sockets. You're going to be using star bits and Allen keys and shit like that. You're going to need the small, thin lane tools and shit to get to the top of the rocker boxes and shit like that. You're going to need that. So that's just me giving you free game. Invest in it. If you're always going to tinker with it, learn how to work on this shit yourself. Because it's good when you learn how to do something yourself, right? Instead of someone else doing it for you. You know? Instead of somebody else doing it for you. But take everything I gave you. You can either use it or you ain't got to use it. But I'm giving you some free game because a lot of guys do not come up here and talk about motors and bills and what to put in them. They don't. They want to be secretive. But I'm giving you the game. And I'm going to tell you, I don't care. I don't care. I'm not the fucking motor gatekeeper, and I'm not out here trying to just say, oh, I got the fastest bike, I got this. Man, if I'm riding good, I want everybody to motherfucking ride good. I want everybody to goddamn have a motor on them. Learn this shit. It's free game. It's just like cars, anything, right? But I want you guys to please make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. Please continue to support my channel. Please continue to like my shit. So with that being said, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And please also know that this is the channel where the rubber meets the road. And as we know, the good old bourbon is always essential for the soul. And like I always say before I take you guys out, I'm your boy Cam, and we out. Peace.